Hi, my name's Arika, and I was raised in Alaska, and recently I had the chance to go back commercial fishing with my father on his boat, where we caught this great piece of fish, and today I'm going to be cooking for you wild Alaskan salmon with a sweet and spicy rub. Alright, so we're going to start with the rub, and it's based with brown sugar. So there's about 4 tablespoons of brown sugar we're going to just put in here. And then there's paprika, and it's a smoked spicy paprika. So it's kind of smoky flavored, but it's not going to be spicy and kick the back of your mouth. And then we're going to add kosher salt and black pepper, and then a bit of thyme. And then I just like to kind of bind it with my hands with the brown sugar and everything together. So the consistency is going to be so it almost sticks together, but not quite. All right, and this is the rub, and like I said, it's sweet and spicy, so it's just basically a little brown sugar, and that you've got your spice and salt and pepper and a little bit of thyme. So that's ready to go. I'm just going to wash my hands, and then we're going to put the rub on the salmon. And now we're going to put the rub on the fillet, and in front of me I have 1 fillet of sockeye salmon, which sometimes people call red salmon, and it's one of the highest quality salmon, so it's very good for eating. And I'm going to cut it into about 4 pieces, and you just want to go with the way that the salmon skin is flowing. So I'm going to cut it up into smaller fillets here. And there are a few small bones that you can just cut right through. You can't really get those out. They just kind of pop out when you're eating the salmon. So I'm going to do 5. Usually the last one is a little bit smaller here. So from here, you're just going to coat each fillet with a little bit of olive oil. You just want to rub it on so the rub has something to stick to, both sides. And we've removed the skin from the salmon, which you generally do if you want to do this in a saucepan, but if you do this on the grill, you can leave the skin down and just put the skin side down on the grill so it gets nice and crispy. And then once you've coated each piece with olive oil, you're going to I scoop 1 pretty big heaping spoonful just on each one. There's going to be a lot extra. Kind of floating around. On the bigger pieces I give it maybe 2 spoonfuls. And then from there, you're just going to rub it in. And it doesn't need to marinate or sit, it just takes right to the fish. So you just want to rub it on nice and heavy. And then flip them over and do the same thing to the other side, and you can kind of pick up the leftover from the first side. And then sometimes I just sprinkle a little bit more on here. And don't worry about too much, because just when you pick it up and put it in the pan, the excess rub falls right off. You just want to coat it in and gently rub so the olive oil picks it up. So it's pretty much covered. And then from there, we're just going to get ready to heat the saucepan, and I'm going to wash my hands, and we will put it on the stove. And now we're ready to cook the salmon. So we're going to do it on the stove in a cast iron pot. And I coat the pan with just a little bit of olive oil. You can also use Pam spray, but I like olive oil. And you just want to make it go all the way around here. Just make sure it coats the pan. Maybe a little bit more here. You don't need a lot because the fish already has some oil on it. Right. And from there, you're just going to throw the fish on. And the key here is to start with a really hot pan, just about on high, and then I bring it down to a little bit more like medium high. And it's going to sizzle, so You're going to leave that on there for about 3 to 4 minutes and just check before you flip it on the other side. All right, so I'm just going to pour a little bit more olive oil on the pan before we flip it, because this you have to really watch. It almost burns, but it doesn't quite, and that's why you're going to get the really crispy, dark, kind of almost charbroiled edges. So it's been a few minutes, and we're just going to take a peek and see how it's doing here. Looks just about right, so we're going to just flip them over. And it's okay, the sauce, since it's smoked, is going to get a little black, almost a little charbroiled. And then from here we probably only have about 2 more minutes, and we're going to take it off and wash this block off and put it back on, because it still continues to cook for about a minute when it's finished. So we're going to leave it in the pan for another minute or 2. Okay, so it's been about a couple minutes on this side, and we're going to take it off and put it on the wood block. And it looks great. And the key is not to overcook it, so take it off a couple minutes before you think it's done, because it's actually going to finish cooking while it's on here in the middle. So even if the middle looks a little pink, obviously the sides are black and perfectly crispy, but inside you want it to be a little bit soft. So we're just going to leave it there for about another minute, and then we're going to put it on our plate and enjoy. And now we're ready to eat the salmon. So we're going to remove it from the wood block where it's just finished cooking. And the salmon pretty much speaks for itself. You really don't need a lot of extra flavors or side dishes. So we're just going to put it on a plate with a little greens and a couple slices of lemon, and we're good to go. And this is just a really great, easy dish to make. We ate it probably once a week on the boat, and no matter how long the day was, we really knew that we'd have a great piece of fish to look forward to. So enjoy.